Am I wrong for asking my sister-in-law to stop cooking extravagant food for my son? My 35 male son is 6 years old, and he has always been a picky eater. It's been especially hard since we're on food stamps and half our food comes from the food pantry. For the last 2 months, my sister-in-law has been looking after him 3 afternoons a week, and I'm so grateful, especially with how things are getting so expensive now. So saving a bit on childcare means so much to me, and she feeds him, which helps too. The thing is, my sister-in-law is very well off and cooks quite extravagantly. We can't even afford the brand name mac and cheese, but at Aunt Gigi's, they'll have some homemade mac and cheese with 4 cheese mix. When I serve him the box stuff, he wants pecorino sprinkled on top. I never even tasted pecorino. My son used to love hot dogs, but now he's used to real sausages. Tuna sandwiches were our go-to, and but now he wants fresh fish. It's like this every meal where I have to explain to him that we can't afford better food, and he barely eats now. I can't get more than a few spoonfuls in him. When I drop him off, he runs to the kitchen where sister-in-law's prepared a snack tray. If I'm early when picking him up, I see he's chowing down on dinner, and I often see him licking the plate, so I know he's hungry. The other day, the broccoli soup they had, he was talking about how the broccoli soup they had tasted good. Thought that might be something I could make, so I asked sister-in-law for the recipe and made it for him. He ate 3 bowls for lunch and polished off the rest for dinner. And parents would be happy seeing their kid eat a whole head of broccoli, but that cost me $12 worth of ingredients, a quarter of our weekly budget on soup. I never cried so hard in my life. I can't afford to make soup for my son? The other day, we were at my mom's, brother, sister-in-law, mom, me. I told sister-in-law that I'm grateful, but asked if she could cook less extravagantly. I suggested pasta with just a jar of sauce. She said she didn't want to cook separately for my son and that they'd have to eat this too. I was taken aback a bit and asked her what she meant by we have to eat this too. Her exact words. I felt like she was saying they're too good for pasta with sauce. And that's basically her answer, that she didn't want to eat that. I tried to explain my situation, how it's so much harder getting my son to eat now, but mom cut me off and we started talking about something else. Later, my mom told me I should apologize for sister-in-law and that I was being an ungrateful idiot to her. But I don't think I am. I'm grateful she's made it so much harder for me to feed my son. So, am I in the wrong here? I want to have this conversation again with sister-in-law, but my mom's words are making me feel like I'm wrong. On the other hand, I'm struggling to get my son to eat. Edit. Because people are asking, my brother and sister-in-law both work. Sister-in-law works from home on days she looks after my son and have no kids. It's just me and my son. My wife walked out on us soon after he was born. Edit. Okay, and then there's another edit, and I'll wait for that. My ruling. You are wrong here. Now, this is what I'm thinking here, and what I'm thinking is, okay, so he mentions a couple of things that I really want to talk about. Brand name, we can't afford the brand name mac and cheese. With pecorino. Pecorino sounds like a cheese, sounds like a cheese, which I'm pretty sure it is. I'll flash a picture of pecorino if that's in fact what it is, a picture of it. And he used to like hot dogs, but now he's used to real sausages. You know what? Sausages aren't that expensive, depending on where you go. Then he talks about tuna sandwiches were our go-to, but now he wants fresh fish. Okay, so basically what he's saying. Now, also, broccoli soup. He made some broccoli soup, and he ate it. So this is the thing. First of all, this man's a cheapskate because he keeps saying that he can't afford to feed his son the ingredients or whatever, but there are ways that he can do it and he's just really cheap. I'm gonna get that right out of the way. He's cheap because 10 to 1, he said our go-to used to be tuna sandwiches. I'm pretty sure that there is a cabinet full of tuna in his house. The other part of it is simply that I have a feeling that he's using the same things over and over and over, and his kiddo is just like, this is no. I don't want to keep eating the same thing over and over, which is normal. The only reason that he's saying that sister-in-law cooks too extravagantly is because father is used to making the same things over and over, and he just doesn't want to keep doing it. He just wants to keep everything just as it is without realizing that his son is somebody who has his own tastes and is sick and tired of him cooking the same old thing. And this is where I get to the edit. Edit number 2. Thank you for all of the great suggestions. You're right. I can probably afford to cook better for my son. Being poor my whole life, I've never considered cooking outside what I'm used to because I just assumed I couldn't afford it. I do want the best for my son. I've just been so frustrated lately because he's not eating much at all at home, so I want to make sure he eats enough and isn't getting all of his food from sister-in-law. So there you have it. He was cooking the same old thing, and his son was getting tired of it. So when he found something new, he polished it because it was different and it was good. So am I wrong? You are. He's wrong. But I am so glad that he is now getting you I am so glad that now he is saying, okay, maybe I should start having some variety because that's what Kiddo was getting at his aunt's house. So thank you for this episode. Thank you for joining me this episode, and I'll see you later.